If there was modern technology in 1937, what would it be like? Let's go back to that time period. First and foremost, the year 1937 was 2 years prior to the end of the Great Depression. This caused millions of people to become unemployed and bankrupt. San Jacinto wasn't much different. We were best known for our farming abilities, such as growing potatoes. So, what makes our town so special? In 1937, the very first successful Transpolar flight, originating in Moscow, landed in San Jacinto. It took several tries to get the flight correct, so when they did, it was very exciting. Valery Cheklov was the first Russian pilot to attempt the trip. As a prank, Valery took out a single engine in Gromov's plane. Valery was able to depart 3 weeks before Gromov. However, his plane did not make it to California. He made it to Washington, causing the flight to be unsuccessful. Initially, Gromov's crew was supposed to land in San Diego, but due to heavy fog, they had to land in a cow pasture in San Jacinto. A month later, a third flight tragically crashed in the Arctic Circle, killing all 6 men aboard. How do we know this? Our main sources are newspaper articles and interviews. Students at Mountain Heights Academy have done some research on the 20th century. Here we present a possible newscast in 1937 of the Transpolar flight.
Welcome back to Chemist J Live Newscast. My name is Joshua Nance.
And I'm Giovanni Herrera. Now we're going to pass it to Marta with the weather.
Thank you, Giovanni. Today it is July 14th, 1937. This morning the temperatures was in the low 70s, but temperatures have just recently soared to the mid 90s. We are expecting lower temperatures starting at 4 p.m.
Sorry, Martha, but we're going to cut to breaking news. From Moscow, 3 Soviet men landed here in the town of San Jacinto, while also breaking a new world record. The non-stop 62-hour flight, which covered a whopping 7,120 miles, has the town in utter shock and excitement. Now we switch to Liz, who is on site interviewing the pilot.
Thank you, Josh. We are live in San Jacinto at the site of the event at a local farmer's cow pasture. I have here with me Mr. Mikhail Gromov, the main pilot controlling the aircraft. So, Mr. Gromov, why did you decide to land your plane here?
We were to go to San Diego, but there's mist and not good sea, so come back and land here.
Interesting. Were you prepared for the detour?
No, it was unexpected.
It's amazing how you are able to nail such a landing with no injuries. Now moving on to Mayor Bartel, Mayor of San Jacinto. Mr. Mayor, what was your reaction to the landing of the plane, and how do you think the public will react?
It's amazing. So happy that they could choose the field here in San Jacinto, the greatest place there is in the United States of America, for them to land their plane. This is going to mean taking us out of the Great Depression. Russians from all around will be landing their planes just randomly here to taste our potatoes.
Do you know what the future plans are for the 3-man crew and their plane?
They're going to become national heroes. Before you know it, they'll have potato outfits that they will wear everywhere on a national tour throughout the United States, and then they probably are going to return to Russia to be heroes in their country.
Thank you very much, Mayor Bartel. Now it's time to interview Mr. Smith, and the farmer whose field was used as an emergency landing site. How did you feel about the plane landing in your field?
Well, it was certainly a surprise to find a whole plane in my field. I was enjoying a nice cup of milk at the time when all of a sudden I heard a plane land in my field. I had to go outside. And when I did, I found 3 men in the plane. And, I had to offer them my services. And then I offered them some milk as well, and they accepted it, and the rest is history.
What are you going to do with the plane still in your field?
Well, I'll be charging 25 cents, so anybody who wants to take a good look at it. So I do advise you to come. Thank you, sir. Have a good look.
Thank you for allowing us to ask you questions. Now back to Giovanni and Josh in the studio.